Today's news highlights. Date April 1, 2025. News highlights. U.S. President Donald Trump announced this week that he will unveil reciprocal tariffs covering all trading countries, aiming to reduce foreign dependence and revive the economy. The policy will impose tariffs on countries that impose high tariffs on the United States and cover non-tariff barriers. The move could bring trillions of dollars in tax revenue, but raised fears of an international trade war. Countries such as Canada, the European Union and Mexico have opposed it, and the Taiwanese government has taken countermeasures to ensure economic stability and strengthen cooperation with the United States to maintain its competitive advantage. News highlights. A skyscraper in Bangkok, Thailand, built by China Railway in cooperation with a Thai construction company, collapsed in a strong earthquake, killing at least 11 people and leaving dozens missing. Anti-corruption watchdogs suspect irregularities in the building's construction, including construction delays, worker shortages, and cutting corners. The Thai government is investigating whether substandard steel is used, and the stock prices of related companies have suffered. Experts point out that the cause of the collapse may be related to the quality of building materials or poor construction planning, as other buildings have not been affected in the same way. News highlights. The U.S. media exposed the Pentagon's confidential memo, showing that the United States has shifted its military focus to the Indo-Pacific and prioritized deterring the CCP's invasion of Taiwan. Experts pointed out that this is an unprecedented enhancement of Taiwan's strategic position. The U.S. military plans to strengthen regional military deployments, improve Taiwan's defense capabilities, and urge it to increase its defense budget. The U.S. move was interpreted as a warning to the CCP and to prepare for the worst. The Trump administration maintains strategic ambiguity, but emphasizes maintaining peace through strength and strengthening deterrence through alliance cooperation. According to the analysis, the United States will continue to exert pressure on the mainland and affect its internal stability. News highlights. Gold prices broke above $3,100 to a record high and have risen more than 15% this year, driven by geopolitical risks, expectations of interest rate cuts by the Federal Reserve and a rebound in demand for gold-backed ETFs. Goldman Sachs forecasts gold prices of $3,300 to $4,200 in 2025. The investment strategy can be deployed in batches through ETFs or physical gold to focus on correction opportunities. It is necessary to pay attention to factors such as low liquidity, interest-free income, and large bid-ask spreads, which are suitable for long-term hedging allocation and avoid excessive concentration of investment. News highlights. TSMC today held a 2nm expansion ceremony for Fab 22 in Kaohsiung's Nanzi Science Park, marking a new milestone in the development of advanced processes. 2nm technology is expected to be mass-produced in 2025 to improve efficiency and energy-saving performance, and is widely used in supercomputers, clouds, and other fields. Kaohsiung Mayor Chen Kamai thanked TSMC for its investment and driving the city's transformation. The government invested 15.6 billion yuan to improve Nang's transportation and support industrial development. TSMC emphasizes green manufacturing and aims to achieve 100% renewable energy use by 2040, demonstrating its commitment to sustainability. News highlights. According to the latest estimates by the Japanese government, 298,000 people may be killed in the event of a massive earthquake in the Nankai Trough of the 9th magnitude, and another 52,000 people may be killed indirectly due to evacuation and other factors. Kochi Prefecture is feared to have suffered a 34-meter tsunami, with 2.35 million buildings collapsed and burned, and economic losses estimated at 292 trillion yen, about $66 trillion. Experts warn that Japan's aging and declining population threaten to exacerbate the impact of disasters, and the government will adjust its disaster prevention plans accordingly, emphasizing that the probability of occurrence has risen to about 80% within 30 years. News highlights. Taiwan stocks fell 906.99 points today, the fourth largest drop in a single day in history, and the market investment atmosphere was tense. Some silver-haired people are not familiar with digital transactions and are worried about huge losses caused by fat fingers placing mistakes. However, the brokerage said that high-value transactions have a risk control mechanism, and the risk of placing a large number of orders by mistake is extremely low. News highlights. Green tea and coffee have different effects on preventing dementia. The EGCG in green tea helps slow down vascular dementia, and studies have shown that drinking 3 cups a day can reduce leukoencephalopathy. The caffeine in coffee can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease, and 1-2 cups a day can help slow down cognitive deterioration. The choice of drink depends on individual needs. Excessive caffeine may affect sleep and should be consumed in moderation. News highlights. The FSC today approved the share exchange merger between Taishin Gold and Shinkong Gold, which will become the surviving company and be renamed Taishin Shinkong Financial Holdings Co., Ltd. The merger was approved by the board of directors and the shareholders meeting of both parties, and was approved in accordance with the Financial Holding Company Act and the Financial Institutions Merger Act. After the merger, Shinkong Gold will apply to the stock exchange for termination of listing 30 business days before the benchmark date. News highlights. Xingklet, a low-key semiconductor equipment company from Shenzhen, recently shined at Semicon China. The company, which is controlled by the Shenzhen State-Owned Assets Supervision and Administration Commission, claims to break through ASML's technical barriers, develop its own lithography machine and accelerate localization. Despite few initial appearances, its 31 in the name of the mountain devices have already attracted a lot of attention and announced that China is poised to surpass global competitors in the field of semiconductor equipment, especially in advanced packaging and process technologies. News highlights the European Union's Artificial Intelligence Act, AI Act, emphasizes transparency as a core element in ensuring the security and trustworthiness of AI systems, especially for high-risk AI systems. Depending on the level of risk, users can get different levels of protection, from clear instructions for use and record-keeping, to detailed information about specific AI systems, such as emotion recognition or generative AI. For high-risk systems, it is required to provide clear operational processes, technical documents, impact assessments, and data governance to ensure that AI technologies meet ethical standards, protect users' rights and interests, and promote healthy development. News highlights according to Nikkei, Global Foundries and UMC, 2303, are considering merging, which, if successful, will become the world's second largest wafer foundry, mainly in response to geopolitical changes and cross-strait tensions, and to help the United States acquire more mature process chips. The two companies have been approached about a potential merger and have been informed of it by US and Taiwanese government officials. Although formal negotiations have not yet taken place, the combined global foundry market share will exceed 9%, second only to TSMC. UMC and GF accounted for 4.7% and 4.6% of the market, respectively. News highlights the new US tariff policy will affect Taiwan stocks, and the FSC pointed out that Taiwan stocks have fallen by more than 1,000 points, and will closely monitor market fluctuations and take measures if necessary. The Ministry of Finance has conducted a sand table deduction and will take stock of the impact after April 2, and activate the National Security Fund to protect the DISC according to the situation. Experts believe that whether to start protecting the DISC depends on the market reaction and the trend of Taiwan stocks, and the Labor Fund and the Retirement Fund are also ready to enter the market at any time. News highlights the FSC approved the merger of Taishan Gold, 2887, and Shinkong Gold, 2888, which will be renamed Taishan Shinkong Financial Holding after the merger, becoming the fourth largest financial holding in Taiwan. Taishan Gold has pledged to cover Shinkong Gold's possible capital increase shortfall and ensure its financial soundness after the merger. The case complied with the Insurance Bureau's 5 principles and was not subject to conditional approval. After the merger, Taishan Gold will significantly increase its market share in banking, insurance, and securities businesses. After the approval of the FSC, the number of financial holders in Taiwan will be reduced to 14. News highlights the third-tier Taiwan stock ETF announced dividend distribution on the 31st, with Yuan High Dividend, 0056, distributing 1.07 yuan per unit, with a yield of 3.07%, Qunyi Semiconductor Income, 00927, was distributed at 0.37 yuan per unit, with a yield of 2.18%, Nomura Trend Momentum High Interest, 00944, was distributed at 0.058 yuan per unit, with a yield of 0.4%. Yuan High Dividend has been distributed the same amount for 4 consecutive quarters, and Qunyi Semiconductor's Income and Nomura Trend Momentum High Dividend have also maintained the same dividend distribution for 2 quarters and 10 months. The ex-dividend date of each ETF is April 18 or 23. News highlights a strong earthquake with a magnitude of 8.2 on the Richter scale occurred in Myanmar on the 28th, affecting Bangkok, Thailand, and other places, causing serious damage. Experts warn that the transfer of stress from the Indian plate could trigger an earthquake of magnitude 6 or higher in Taiwan, and the public needs to be more vigilant about disaster preparedness. Disaster prevention points include receiving earthquake warnings in a timely manner, mastering the 3 steps of lying down, taking cover, and steady, and preparing emergency supplies such as food, water, and first aid supplies. In addition, regularly checking disaster kits and ensuring that families have an evacuation plan is key to responding to disasters. News highlights according to the latest estimates released by the Japanese government's working group, in the event of a magnitude 9 earthquake in the Nankai Trough, the number of victims could reach 298,000, and for the first time, it is estimated that up to 52,000 people will die indirectly from the disaster. The earthquake could trigger a huge tsunami that would hit the area from Fukushima to Okinawa by more than 3 meters and cause severe damage to buildings. The new report also calculates the number of disaster-related deaths, reflecting health problems arising from long-term evacuation. News highlights studies have shown that chewing gum may be a route for microplastics to enter the body. About 100 microparticles are released per gram of chewing gum, with some brands even exceeding 600. These particles enter the mouth during chewing and can pose a potential health risk. The synthetic rubber component of most chewing gums is not clearly labeled as plastic, and consumers tend to overlook its presence. This study is a reminder of the health and environmental impact of microplastics. News highlights the magnitude of the strong earthquake in Myanmar was raised to 8.2, with an epicenter at a depth of only 10 kilometers, releasing energy equivalent to 177 atomic bombs, and the epicenter was near the city of Sagaing. The earthquake has killed more than 1,000 people and caused serious building collapses. Experts warn that stress could be transmitted to Taiwan in the next 2 weeks due to the push of the Indian plate, prompting earthquakes of magnitude 6 or more. The earthquake was comparable in energy to the 1999-921 earthquake in Taiwan, and reminded Taiwan of the need to strengthen earthquake-resistant facilities and monitor the impact of long-term seismic waves. News highlights on suspicion of violating the regulations on relations between the people of the two sides of the Taiwan Strait and advocating peaceful reunification between the two sides of the Taiwan Strait. The Taiwan government revoked his residence permit for relatives and was asked to leave China. She said on social media that she was affected by the military exercise and transformed into a patriotic anchor and emphasized her support for the peaceful reunification of the two sides of the strait. Kai denied advocating military reunification, and said that she loves Taiwan and does not regret choosing a position. She criticizes Taiwan's political environment as a manifestation of green terror and believes that something will change in the future. News highlights the scene of locomotive waterfall at Taipei Bridge has recently become a hot topic on the internet, and even caused the topic of toy model launched by the Japanese manufacturer Tomica. The model perfectly reproduces the spectacular scene of the Taipei Bridge, with hundreds of locomotives crowding the bridge and waiting for red lights, with exquisite details, and netizens have said that they are buying up. However, this model is actually an AI-generated graph, which was designed by netizens at IOI_H combined with ChatGPT and Tomica models to create this unique scene. Although many netizens are keen on this Taiwanese special version, some people question that the model is too neat and does not match reality. News highlights a strong earthquake with a magnitude of 8.2 on the Richter scale struck northwest of Wa City, Myanmar on the 28th, causing more than 1,700 deaths and injuries and causing international concern. It is worth noting that the numerologist Takasuk went in at the end of the year to predict a catastrophe of the century in March 2025 and pointed out that it could be a volcano or an earthquake. This prophecy sparked heated discussions after the strong earthquake in Myanmar, and Gao Fujin said that he originally thought that the prophecy would not come true, but soon after the sour people left a message, the disaster really happened. He also mentioned that global financial markets and geopolitics may usher in major changes in the future. News highlights the 28-year-old Ji Zeon, Bao Di, has recently risen in popularity due to starring in BL idol dramas, and after 15 years of debut, he was finally promoted to the family with fans. After being involved in a drunk driving scandal last year, he switched to a taxi and said he had quit drinking. A few days ago, he appeared at the press conference, interacted enthusiastically with fans who had been waiting for 3 hours, and did not refuse to take selfies and autographs, showing his pro-people side. Later, he had dinner with his friends, and his agent revealed that he was actively preparing for a new play, and responded in a low-key manner to the increase in drama appointments, work hard. News highlights a male employee surnamed Mossberger Yu was drugged and stunned and molested a female colleague while at work, and was sentenced to 1 year and 10 months in prison, suspended for 4 years. Morse Hamburg issued a statement emphasizing that the employee has been immediately fired, will never be hired, and has zero tolerance for illegal abuse in the workplace. The company provides necessary assistance to injured employees, and has a grievance mechanism and psychological counseling resources to create a safe workplace. News highlights Kim So-hyun held a press conference yesterday to explain the Kim Sa-Ryan incident, but his tearful speech was criticized as crocodile tears. Chen Yi spoke out against the wind, believing that the whistleblower did not present sufficient evidence, only exposing the love dialogue and group photos, and questioning the injustice of conviction based on feeling. She emphasized that falling in love is not wrong, reminded the public to think independently, avoid public opinion trials leading to injustice, and said that although she did not agree with Kim So-hyun's denial of the relationship, she could not confuse all the accusations. News highlights Nantou County Magistrate Su Shihua's mother was accused of defaulting on tens of millions of yuan, suspected of borrowing money from creditors for gambling debts, but failed to repay them, and was absent from mediation twice. The creditor accused Su's mother of winning trust in the name of her daughter, painting a big pie but not paying back the money. In this regard, the county government clarified that Su Shihua was not involved and would not fake the public for personal gain, and emphasized that the revelations were not true, and called for not abusing public weapons to slander and cause harm to the elders. News highlights Tainan barbecue hot pot restaurant Niu Wuqiang caused controversy due to the high-priced menu, with 14 slices of cranberry priced at 880 yuan and shoulder blades priced at 4,600 yuan, which shocked customers. The store stated that it would improve its menu and service, but the draft statement contained the words "reserve the right to legal recourse," which was quietly deleted after being bombarded by netizens. Netizens criticized the store for not responding positively to the price issue, and advertised that there was no menu but said that the meaning of improving the menu was contradictory. The way the crisis was handled raised more questions and the incident continued to burn. News highlights Zheng Qiuchen was recently involved in the comeback turmoil of Huang Zijiao, and the old clip of wanting to kiss Tao Jingying was dug up, and now it was revealed that he touched the other party's thigh twice on the way home to send the sweet actress A home and was refused. After the incident spread, actress A returned to the show but was dismissed on the spot, and the outside world speculated that it was related to the rejection of Zheng Qiuchen. The incident sparked heated discussions, and Zheng Qiuchen has not yet responded. News highlights: the Eastern Theater of the People's Liberation Army, PLA, launched a large-scale military exercise on April 1, mobilizing the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Rocket Force to emphasize advancing into Taiwan. The exercise involved naval and air combat readiness patrols, land-to-sea strikes, and the closure and control of key roads, indicating that the PLA has upgraded its training level and strengthened its landing combat capability. In addition, the People's Liberation Army, PLA, has issued circulars in both Chinese and English in an attempt to intensify pressure on Taiwan by publicizing internal propaganda and demonstrating military deterrence to the international community. News highlights: on March 28, a strong earthquake with a magnitude of 8.2 on the Richter scale struck Myanmar, severely hitting the second-largest city, Cheng. A Taiwanese woman was trapped in a collapsed hotel and failed to survive after several days of rescue, becoming the only known Taiwanese victim. Her husband escaped and hoped that his wife's ashes would be sent back to Taiwan. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that the office has expressed its condolences to the family and fully assisted in handling the aftermath. News highlights: on March 31, the Taiwan Academy of Economics announced the manufacturing boom signal for February, and the signal value rose to 15 points, turning into a green light, hitting a one-year high. However, Trump's tariff policy changes, the downward revision of the US and European economic forecasts, and the rising global trade risks may affect the recovery of the industry. More than half of Taiwan's auto components are exported to the United States, and if tariffs are expanded, the impact may be exacerbated. At the same time, inflation in the United States is heating up, and Trump intends to promote energy autonomy to ease price pressures. Experts believe that trade policy adjustments are in the short-term pain, but US consumer acceptance remains key. News highlights: Fumao Oil, 1225, may face a crisis of delisting due to the failure to submit last year's financial report as scheduled. The stock exchange said that except for Fumao Oil, the rest of the listed companies have completed the declaration. According to the regulations, companies that have not paid their financial reports will be suspended from trading first, and if they do not make up the documents within 6 months, they will be delisted. However, if it can be made up within the time limit, it can be exempted from the risk of going out of the market. The stock exchange reminds investors to refer to the financial report before trading, and the relevant information can be found at the Public Information Observatory. News highlights: the Eastern Theater of the People's Liberation Army, PLA, began to conduct military exercises around Taiwan on April 1, mobilizing the 4 major branches of the military, which is called a warning and punishment for Taiwan independence. Taiwan's presidential office condemned China for undermining regional stability, and the Defense Department activated a response mechanism to closely monitor the movements of the People's Liberation Army. The Taiwan government stressed that it will uphold its sovereignty and safeguard security and peace. News highlights: Hualien was hit hard by a strong earthquake on April 3 last year, and the tourism industry continued to slump. During the 228 consecutive holidays, the urban business district was deserted, the housing rate of the hotel industry was only 2 or 3%, 82 homestays had closed down, 8 hotels and restaurants reported a large number of layoffs, and nearly 400 people were unemployed. Tourists at 16 scenic spots, including Taraco, have dropped sharply and rebounded slowly. The county government is worried about the decline of the industry and has called on tourists to return to Hualien to support the local economy. News highlights: Tainan's well-known barbecue restaurant Niu Wuqiang has set off heated discussions due to price disputes. Consumers complained that the meal cost of 5 people was as high as 15,440 yuan, including high-priced beef, 880 yuan vegetable plate and 80 yuan charcoal fire, and the whole process was self-service but still charged a service fee. The store insisted that the price was reasonable and promised to improve transparency, but the statement reserved legal recourse to cause resentment. Netizens criticized its improper handling of the crisis, and the Consumer Protection Officer has intervened in the inspection and asked for a public price. News highlights: the godfather of dance Chung Shengfeng changed his life track after experiencing a low ebb, moved to the south to experience grassroots life, experienced fraud lawsuits and car accident claims, and lamented his ill-fated fate. He has worked in 15 types of jobs, including site management and logistics, and has even been bullied in the workplace. He is currently focusing on dance teaching and photography, and is looking forward to returning to the stage. The numerologist said that the worst has passed, and the fortune will turn for the better. Zhang Shengfeng said that he is willing to fight in the entertainment industry again and look forward to new opportunities in the future. News highlights: the well-known chef James Cheng Kin-kei issued a lawyer's statement today, announcing that he has cut products such as Yamakiya Jean Sauce, Jean Noodles and Jean Noodles under the brand of Jean Sauce Co., Limited, and stressed that he has no involvement in R&D and operation to avoid consumer misunderstanding. Zhang Zhang confirmed that James has withdrawn his shares, and said that the company's operations will not be affected and will continue to develop new products. As the matter between the two parties is still to be clarified, James has carte blanche to counsel to deal with it, and did not respond to further details. News highlights Zheng Qiuchen was exposed to a sweet actress who had sexually molested, reached out and touched her thigh on the way to the car, and the actress was removed from the show shortly after refusing in panic, and was suspected of losing her job because of her rejection of the other party, which caused the outside world to be shocked. News highlights Zhao Junya admitted to domestic violence against Wu Wanjun, and was sued by the woman for not wanting to reconcile, and the record of beating his girlfriend in the past was revealed again, including Yang Joia and others. Yang was sentenced to prison for suffering a shoulder injury caused by violent treatment, and was charged with intimidation to obtain money in subsequent claims. News highlights Kim So-hyun appeared to apologize after 21 days of silence due to his involvement in the Golden Tournament, saying that the two dated in 2019 and denied underage romance. The widow countered with YT's Hung Feng Research Institute, revealing evidence of his 2015 interactions, and questioning him for lying about his life. News highlights Lee Yuki appeared for the first time after the drug abuse scandal, and admitted that he had suffered anorexia to only 27 kilograms, but now he has recovered to 37 kilograms and changed his name to resume his life. She revealed that she was sexually abused by her stepfather in her childhood, hoping to remind her children to protect themselves. Mu Yan talked about her experience of sexual harassment in the workplace, and adjusted her position in the team due to the GAF turmoil and transferred to MC. News highlights since Diary of a Recruit became popular, Zhao Junya has repeatedly rumored domestic violence and sexual violence controversies. In 2015, the actress surnamed Su accused her of splitting her legs, violence and even sexual assault, accusing her of being attacked with a wine bottle and forcibly taking intimate photos. Although the crime of assault was prosecuted, the sexual assault was not prosecuted due to insufficient evidence, and the controversy has not subsided. News highlights on the 22nd anniversary of Zhang Quorong's death, he posted a message of condolences on April Fool's Day in previous years, posting old photos and writing "Who can replace your position," which is simple but affectionate, showing his unchanging thoughts and true love for his brother. News highlights the People's Liberation Army, PLA, launched a multi-directional exercise around the Taiwan Strait today, and the Defense Department severely condemned the provocative acts, stressed the need to firmly defend territorial sovereignty, and released a ready-for-battle video to display weapons such as P-3C anti-submarine aircraft, Patriot, and Tiangong-3 to demonstrate Taiwan's determination to fight with the armed forces. News highlights a wave of recalls was set off in Taiwan, and many legislators of the Kuomintang entered the second stage of CO signing. Yuan's progress reached 74.9% at the earliest, but the militia estimated that the security threshold needed 40,000 copies, calling on the people to continue to CO sign. Luo Tingwei, Su Qiaxin, Li Yangziu, and others are also approaching the threshold, and 8 cases in the Green Camp have entered the second stage. News highlights after Taiwanese actor Huang Zijiao fell into the Me Too turmoil, it was revealed that he had videos of underage girls and was a senior member of the Creative Private website. The first trial was sentenced to 8 months, and the second trial still did not apologize, and the inside story of the hard drive was further revealed. Sophia, an internet celebrity in France, accused Huang Zijiao of sexual harassment, exposed his private deeds, and said that another victim accused him of sexual assault, which exposed Wang's illegal behavior. Sophia criticized Wang for being heinous and thanked the women for their courage to expose it. News highlights South Korean actor Kim So-hyun was recently revealed by the YouTube channel Hengzi Research Institute that he has been dating underage actress Kim Se-ryan for 6 years and released intimate photos, which caused controversy. Although Kim So-hyun denied dating Kim Se-ryan when he was a minor and questioned that some of the revelations were fake, he held a press conference on the 31st to clarify, during which he broke down emotionally and cried, emphasizing that there were discrepancies in details such as age. Netizens sorted out the 4 major doubts about the content of Kim So-hyun and the revelations of the Hengzi Research Institute, and the case is still fermenting. News highlights Korean cheerleading goddess Bianhello recently became angry because of the fans' joking remarks, and turned around on the spot to make a pit-like gesture, which sparked discussion. Later, it was found that fans had jokingly called her a fat pig, which made her feel bad. Sister Bianhello, the agent of Bianhello, said that Bianhello is often jokingly called because of her love for Taiwanese food, but such words should not be a way for fans to express their love, and called on everyone to maintain respect for women's appearance. News highlights the Eastern Theater of the People's Liberation Army, PLA, today announced the launch of a joint exercise called Multi-Directional Approach to Taiwan, claiming that the move was a warning to Taiwan independence forces. China's Ministry of National Defense said that it has been monitoring the movements of warships since March 29, and yesterday it was discovered that the Shandong aircraft carrier formation had entered Taiwan's contingency zone, and the Taiwan military has activated the contingency mechanism to closely monitor it. The Defense Department criticized China's military activities in the Indo-Pacific region as challenging the international order, and stressed that Taiwan's military will continue to uphold the principle of not escalating conflict and not provoking disputes to defend national sovereignty and people's security. News highlights Chinese spouse Zhao Chan, Xiao Yi, who was recently revoked by the Immigration Department for making remarks about military reunification through social videos, was rebarred by the Immigration Department and was allowed to leave the country within a time limit. As she did not leave the country on time, the Immigration Department today launched a forced exit operation and brought her back to the new Taipei City Task Force Station. The team will check her passport and cross-strait travel information, and assist in processing the relevant documents. Zhao Chan was suspected of being disturbed by netizens and had changed her residence. This case is similar to that of another Chinese partner, Liu Jinya, who has taken a flight out of the country on his own. News highlights Kuomintang legislator Luo Tingui in Taichung's 6th constituency is facing a recall, and Wu Zhengfeng, a university teacher who used to be an election staff, has written to express his disappointment with his performance and clarify that he has no intention of pursuing political work. Wu stressed that the submission was purely out of concern for Luo and hoped that he would become a consistent politician, calling on him to serve the people and not easily spoil the expectations of voters, and apologized for causing controversy, wishing Luo Tingui to face bravely and start afresh in the test. News highlights Chi City Councillor Li Yide, a non-party member, died of liver cancer on March 26 at the age of 43. Li Yide's father, Li Hanren, revealed that his son had a heart-to-heart relationship with him at 9 o'clock every day before his death, and he still cared about election affairs on his sickbed, which made his father feel deeply painful. Li Hanren said that when his son was dying, he regretted that he had not fulfilled his voter promise, and scolded his son for running away. The family plans to hold a public memorial on April 8, and chose the image photo of the election campaign as the posthumous photo to show the indomitable spirit of Li Yide. News highlights Nantou County Magistrate Su Shihua's mother was accused of accumulating tens of millions of yuan in gambling debts, and she borrowed money in the name of Su Shihua in order to repay the debts, but she did not repay the debts. The creditor surnamed Xia revealed that he had lent money to Su's mother and introduced others to borrow money, but Su's mother did not fulfill her promise to repay the loan. In 2018, Su Shihua arranged for an assistant to coordinate the repayment of debts, but Su's mother refused to compromise and later bounced many times. Hui Shihua said that the relevant allegations were untrue and stressed that there would be no abuse of public power. News highlights artist Huang Zijiao was accused of forcibly kissing and taking nude photos in 2023 due to the Me Too turmoil, and found that he illegally downloaded underage sexual images. Sophia, an internet celebrity in France, once came forward to accuse Huang Zijiao and was regarded as a whistleblower. Recently, Sophia responded on social media, saying that the key person in exposing Huang Zijiao's case was another woman, who accused Huang Zijiao of sexual assault and mentioned hearing the sound of the shutter to expose the illegal image incident. Sophia said the woman was the main contributor to the revelations of the case. News highlights the Qingming holiday is approaching, and the 104 Manpower Bank sorts out the overtime pay calculation. 4/3 and 4/4 are national holidays, and the salary is 2 times, 4/5 is a rest day, and the salary for the first 2 hours is 2.34 times, and the second 6 hours are 2.67 times. Frequently asked questions include 1. If the employee agrees, the boss can change the leave, and the overtime pay will be paid for the work after the change. 2. On-call does not count overtime pay, but actual attendance. 3. The employee has been scheduled to take special leave, and the employer shall not refuse it without reason, otherwise it is illegal. News highlights to S. Su Ziwan, died of illness last month and was buried in the Jinbeihan Rose Park. Wang Xiaofei and her current wife, Ma Xiaomei, Mandy, were originally scheduled to hold a make-up wedding on May 17 at a courtyard hotel, and they will have a low-key banquet for relatives and friends. Wang Xiaofei has sent a wedding post. Wu Zongxian was invited but could not participate, and did not plan to give gifts on his behalf. Mandy said that she was low-key about the wedding, and revealed that she and Wang Xiaofei were undergoing a health checkup and were in good health. News highlights recently, a news that 14 pieces of canopy gourd cost 880 yuan has attracted attention. Physician Zhang Jiaming pointed out that crotch is a close relative of pumpkin, which is rich in water, low calorie, and high potassium, which is beneficial to the cardiovascular, gastrointestinal, and eye health, and helps male prostate health. The beta-sitosterol in craniophora seeds can fight male hormones, inhibit prostate hypertrophy, reduce inflammation, and improve urination problems, and may also reduce the risk of prostate cancer. If you feel that the cucumber is too expensive, you can use pumpkin seeds instead, and the effect is the same. News highlights the Eastern Theater of the Communist Army announced on the 1st that it would conduct joint exercises around the island of Taiwan, mobilize the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Rocket Force, and release the film Eliminate Demons and Demons, simulating a missile attack on Taiwan, showing the city scene of Taipei for the first time, including Taipei 101 and Hankow Street and hinting at the target of the attack. The Eastern Theater of Operations stated that this move was a warning to the Taiwan independence separatist forces and stressed that it was a legitimate action to defend national sovereignty and reunification. In addition, the Eastern Theater released an anime film that scandalized Li King as a green worm and criticized his political behavior. News highlights: Liu Pei internet celebrity Xiao Yi was revoked by the Immigration Department for expressing support for the reunification of Taiwan by force on social platforms, and the Immigration Department revoked her residence permit and left the country within a time limit. In Kai had taken a flight back to Chengdu on the evening of March 31, and Xiao Yi did not take the initiative to leave China within the time limit. This morning, first, Xiao Yi went to the new Taipei City Special Task Force on his own, and the Immigration Department held a compulsory exit review meeting, and decided to force him out of the country and arrange an afternoon flight to carry out repatriation. The Immigration Department stressed that it will deal with any blatant advocacy of military reunification in accordance with the law and safeguard national security. News highlights: the conflict between DPP boss Lin Zhoushui and party caucus chief Ke Jianming escalated again. Lin criticized Ke Jianming's high hatred value, which led the KMT to imitate the strategy and demand that the removal of the Blue Committee is equivalent to making Ke Jianming the president of the Legislative Council. Ke Jianming responded to the criticism of Lin Zhoushui for quitting the party and not quitting the party, and strongly criticized him for supporting the Kuomintang to sell Taiwan, accusing him of being a fake Taiwan independence master, and even more vicious than Huang Qiuakang. Ke stressed that he was for the general recall and said that he would not pursue the position of president of the legislature, and would continue to push for the disappearance of both parties. News highlights: the numerology column points out that the birthmark of the four parts is usually a symbol of wealth and fortune, representing prosperity and noble people. If there is a birthmark under the buttocks, then the person is born wealthy, does things safely, and has good fortune. The birthmark in the middle of the back represents being smart and backed by a successful career. The birthmark in the middle of the navel symbolizes the gold hidden in the navel, good fortune and abundant life. The birthmark on the back of the hand indicates that you have expertise and strong career luck, and you can get sincere feelings in a happy life. News highlights: recently, Myanmar has been hit by a 7.7 magnitude earthquake with an epicenter in Sagaing City, which has spread to neighboring China and Thailand, and the disaster in Mandalay is severe. The Lin couple from Taiwan suffered a collapse at the Great Wall Hotel in Huachin. The husband managed to escape, but the wife was trapped. After several days of rescue, the rescue was unsuccessful, and his wife passed away yesterday, becoming the only known victim in Taiwan. The General Association of Taiwanese Businessmen in Myanmar said that although the rescue team used search and rescue dogs and detectors, no signs of life were found at the scene, and Mr. Lin was relieved and transported his wife's body back to Taiwan for disposal. News highlights: studies have shown that there is an obesity paradox between obesity and cancer, and that even though obesity increases the risk of cancer, some cancer patients have better treatment outcomes. According to a study published in the journal Cancer in March 2025, obese patients have a higher 5-year survival rate and a 31% lower risk of death after treatment with immune checkpoint inhibitors than normal weight patients. This may be related to an immune system response caused by obesity or better nutritional status. Despite this, obesity remains a major risk factor for cancer, and maintaining a healthy weight remains a top priority for cancer prevention. News highlights: due to the re-election of the chairman in November last year, Fumao Oil, 1225, was only approved by the Ministry of Economic Affairs in March this year, and failed to complete the signing of the contract with the accounting firm and could not announce the 2024 annual financial report within the deadline. On the 1st, the stock price fell to 30.7 yuan, facing the crisis of the stock exchange suspending trading and delisting. The company said that it would elect a new chairman as soon as possible and submit supplementary financial reports, and promised to solve the problem of difficult financial delivery. News highlights: gold prices hit an all-time high on Monday, with June gold futures up $36 to $3,150.30, up 10.6% in March and up 19.3% in the first quarter. Analysts warn that although the U.S. will announce reciprocal tariffs to provide safe haven support for gold, gold prices could pull back due to profit-taking, and a break below the $3,057 to $3,066 support level could trigger more selling, and a break below $3,000 could lead to a sharper decline. News highlights: the U.S. will expand tariffs, and Taiwan is expected to be included in one of the Dirty 15. According to the National Development Council, Taiwan's exports to the United States in 2024 will be $111.4 billion, accounting for 23.4% of total exports, and the main export products are electronic information products. Imports from the United States were $46.5 billion, with a trade surplus of $64.9 billion. In recent years, Taiwan's investment in the United States has increased significantly, reaching $14.1 billion in 2024, making it Taiwan's largest investor. In terms of tariffs, the weighted average tariff between Taiwan and the United States is 1.7%, lower than the US 2.2%, but the simple average tariff of 6.5% is higher than the US 3.3%. News highlights foreign media reported that UMC is expected to merge with GF. If it comes true, the global wafer foundry market share will reach 9.3%, becoming the world's second largest foundry, surpassing Samsung, but still far below TSMC's market share of 67.1%. Pei-Chin Lau of the Taiwan Institute of Economic Research pointed out that the combined UMC and GF will focus on mature and specialty processes, and respond to challenges such as geopolitics and the U.S. China technology war. Liu suggested that after the merger, it should develop into high-value or niche foundry services to avoid competitive pressure from China. News highlights the Eastern Theater of the Chinese Communist Party announced that it would launch joint military exercises around Taiwan from today and conduct more close operations to Taiwan. Zhou Rongta, Premier, stressed that the Taiwan authorities should pay attention to social stability and people's lives on the island, rather than simply flexing force. He called on the CCP to understand the importance of peace and stability. The Ministry of National Defense said that it had activated the contingency mechanism, and emphasized that the CCP's military has internal corruption and false combat capabilities, and that Taiwan's Taiwan military is confident in defending national sovereignty and people's security, and adheres to the principle of not escalating the conflict to respond. News highlights Kim So-hyun has been deeply involved in controversy due to the Kim Se-ron scandal recently, and finally held a press conference 3 weeks later, wearing an all-black suit, bowing many times and bursting into tears during the process. Netizens found that his performance was strikingly similar to the clip of Jun Ji-hyun's character holding a press conference in My Love from the Star, and the sop of the two was almost the same, including all-black clothing, melancholy expressions, and the last burst of tears. Kim So-hyun denied having an improper relationship with Kim Se-ryan at the meeting and said that he would file a lawsuit for compensation. News highlights TSMC held a 2nm expansion ceremony in Kaohsiung on the 31st, attended by Executive President Zhou Rongta and Kaohsiung Mayor Chen Kamai to witness the important moment of TSMC's deep cultivation in Kaohsiung. Before the municipal meeting, Chen Kamai humorously announced that Kaohsiung City would have 2 days off on Thursday and Friday, and then laughed and said that today is April Fool's Day. He stressed that TSMC will build 5 2nm advanced process plants in Kaohsiung, and join hands with Tainan to form the world's largest and most technologically advanced semiconductor industry cluster, and said that the Kaohsiung city government will fully support TSMC to build a factory. News highlights the merger between Taishin Financial Holding and Shinkong Financial Holding has been approved by the FSC and is expected to be completed by the end of July 2025, making it the 4th largest financial holding company in Taiwan after the merger, with a market value of more than 180 billion yuan. The new financial holding will integrate the two banking, life insurance, securities, and other businesses, strengthen digital and international development, and enhance market competitiveness. The merger is regarded as an important milestone in the transformation of Taiwan's financial industry and provides valuable experience for future financial institutions. News highlights at the 2025 Intel Vision Conference, the new CEO Chen Liwu delivered his first public speech, clearly proposing to reform Intel's 3 cores, returning to engineering, introducing AI and Software 2.0 design logic, and reshaping the customer-oriented foundry business. He emphasized that Intel will focus on customized chips and fully promote the flexibility and integration of foundry services. At the same time, he strongly appealed to customers around the world to give honest feedback, and pledged to rebuild the company's trust with a pragmatic attitude. News highlights the Eastern Theater of the Communist Army of China announced today that it will conduct joint exercises around Taiwan, involving the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Rocket Forces. Since March 29, Taiwan's Defense Department has grasped the dynamics of the Shandong aircraft carrier formation and activated a contingency mechanism to deal with it. The Ministry of Defense said that the CCP has become the world's biggest troublemaker by continuing to expand its military activities in Taiwan and the Indo-Pacific region, challenging the international order. In the face of the growing threat, the National Armed Forces will uphold the principle of not escalating conflicts and firmly defend national sovereignty and people's security. News highlights U.S. President Donald Trump has vowed to announce a massive tariff plan on April 2, targeting countries with which the U.S. has trade deficits. The move could include tariffs of up to 25% on goods from Canada, Mexico, China, the European Union, Vietnam, Taiwan, South Korea, and Japan, among others, as well as tariffs on specific industries such as pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, and timber. Trump's tariffs are aimed at correcting trade imbalances and could affect about 15% of the U.S. trading partners. U.S. trading partners are preparing to retaliate and strongly push back against Trump's plans. News highlights the Eastern Theater of the Chinese People's Liberation Army, PLA, announced today that it will launch a joint military exercise of the land, Navy, Air Force, and Rocket Forces around the island of Taiwan from now on. In this regard, President Li Qiang instructed the relevant units of national security and national defense to deal with them strictly, and stressed that the government has the confidence and ability to defend national sovereignty and protect people's security. Guo Yahui, spokesperson of the presidential office, said that Taiwan will continue to maintain peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait, and called on China to return to the rules-based international order and jointly promote regional security and development. At the same time, he strongly condemned China's provocative actions and reassured the public. News highlights on March 28, a magnitude 8.2 earthquake struck Myanmar, followed by a magnitude 7.0 earthquake in the Tonga Islands 2 days later, and a tsunami warning was issued. Kwok Kai-wen, former director of the Meteorological Department, pointed out that there has been an increase in global seismic activity recently, especially in the mid-ocean ridge and the Pacific Rim seismic zone. Although there have been no significant earthquakes in Taiwan recently, it is still necessary to be alert to the risk of delayed energy transmission. He reminded the public to pay attention to the seismic activity in the Kuril Trench and the South China Sea Trough if they travel to Japan. News highlights to S. Su Ziwan, died of illness for nearly 2 months, and the family couldn't let go of their grief, and SS mother, Huang Chunmei, expressed her thoughts about her beloved daughter on social platforms many times. Yesterday, 31st, she once again posted a post calling Big S baby Shan, which was distressing. SS mother once shared her sadness, saying that it was difficult to get out of the pain of losing her daughter. Makio also recently revealed that Big S had fallen asleep twice and guided her to find SS mother and little s. She said that SS mother has been physically and mentally exhausted recently, with continuous insomnia and unbearable pain. News highlights the Eastern Theater of the People's Liberation Army, PLA, began a joint military exercise around Taiwan on April 1, emphasizing that it was aimed at warning and containing Taiwan independence separatist forces. The exercise was the first to release a precision strike video that included the 101 building in Taipei City, and showed that the PLA used satellite positioning to lock on to Taiwan, simulating an attack on the coast of Taiwan in the Zhongzheng district of Taipei City. The film also emphasizes the PLA's stealth fighters and other military forces, and uses the metaphor of the Monkey King versus the Frog to hint at the mature performance of the 6th-generation aircraft. News highlights at the time of the powerful earthquake in Myanmar, divers in Thailand discovered a strange phenomenon. All the reef fish schools were quietly lying on the bottom of the sea. The phenomenon was exposed by Dong Ian, a marine scientist at Ksatsart University, who said that schools of fish are able to sense the vibrations in the water and react instinctively to lie down to avoid possible turbulence or tsunamis. This is the first time that there is clear evidence that fish schools react in the event of an earthquake and may help humans be more vigilant about earthquakes. News highlights former NCT member Hwang Suk-si, Lucas, officially announced that he will devote himself to Taiwanese drama filming after 3 years of diving. He said that he loves Taiwan very much, and mentioned that the food and people in Taiwan are very attractive to him. In addition, he also revealed that he is learning guitar and hopes to play and sing by himself in the future. Hwang Suk-si is nervous but full of expectations for the first time to challenge the identity of an actor, and hopes to cooperate with actors such as Soo Kwon-gon. He said he would prepare wholeheartedly and hoped that the audience would enjoy his plays. News highlights Ray, the live streamer of Taiwan's strongest high school student, recently appeared on the American version of GQ Sports and shared his 10 indispensable items. He first showed his Taiwanese passport and revealed that he had obtained a US visa and started a new life in the United States. He lives in a $5 million mansion provided by his friend Kai and works hard with other live streamers. In addition, he also mentioned that Walai fried noodles and Gen milk are essential Taiwanese flavors in his life, and these items accompany him through every important moment. News highlights after S. Su Ziwan died of illness in February, his family was deeply grieved, especially his mother Huang Chunmei. On the last day of March, Huang Chunmei posted on social media to shout Bao Base Han, expressing her miss for her late daughter and asking why she hasn't come back yet. During this time, Makio also revealed that the sudden death of Big S made the family heartbroken, and Little S said that he needed more time to heal. Many fans have left messages of comfort and strength for SS mother. News highlights when Japanese actress Nagano Miyu participated in the All-Star Thanksgiving Festival 2025 spring program. She encountered the sudden behavior of comedian Jang Teo-yu at 2:50, and cried on the spot due to fright, which aroused the attention and condemnation of the audience. Ito's behavior at 2:50, including wearing a shell bra and licking his tongue in public, frightened Nagano Miyu. Afterwards, Jang Teo-yu apologized to the program at 2:50. News highlights in 2004, a South Korean woman was introduced by her sister to perform as a temporary performer, and was sexually assaulted and sexually harassed by 12 men in the company. She couldn't bear the mental pressure and chose to commit suicide, and expressed her despair in her suicide note. Despite repeated lawsuits, the court ruled against the case and demanded compensation from the perpetrators. The case could not be prosecuted because the statute of limitations had expired, and the woman's mother was awarded compensation for the defamation caused by the demonstrations. News highlights from April 1, 2025, Costco Taiwan will implement a card scanning system for members. According to the rules, a maximum of 2 people can be brought into the venue with one membership card, except for children under the age of 18. Regarding the questions of some people, some netizens pointed out that this provision has existed since the opening. Some people support this measure, arguing that limiting the number of visitors will help maintain order in the store, avoid crowding and reduce shopping efficiency. News highlights Yuan Minky, a famous cardiac surgeon, reminded that cold weather can easily cause myocardial infarction, especially at 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning, when the temperature difference can cause blood vessels to constrict violently. Dr. Yun, who has personally experienced myocardial infarction, reminds people over the age of 50, family history, 3 highs or obesity to seek medical attention immediately if they have chest tightness and chest pain. He also suggested monotherapy to rescue a heart attack, including morphine for pain relief, oxygen, sublingual lozenges, and aspirin anticoagulant. In addition, blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol should still be strictly controlled after the installation of cardiac stents to avoid recurrence. News highlights the Meteorological Department today, first, issued a special report on heavy rain for 4 counties and cities north of Darwin, and it is expected that the weather in the north, northeast and east will be wet and cold today, with a high probability of localized heavy rain, and mountainous areas should pay attention to collapses and rockfalls. Moisture is still abundant in other areas, but the rain is gradually slowing down. On Wednesday, 2nd, the cold air mass decreased slightly, the weather remained cool, and there was a brief rain in the western half of the mountainous area. Under the influence of the northeast monsoon from Thursday, 3rd, the temperature has risen and turned easterly, and the subsequent rainfall trend is mainly in the eastern half and the Hengchun Peninsula.